Hello guys, this is Rico. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today I want to show you my approach to making chord progressions and melodies on the Elektron Model Cycles. And for today's session I made a cheat sheet which is available completely free, and you'll find the link to download it in the description down below. Alright, let's get started. So to make a beat or a track which sounds good, you have to stay in key. So the first thing you'll have to decide is what key to choose. I usually go for F, G or A. Why? Because those are the keys which allow you to go really low on the frequency spectrum and still get a punchy, audible sub-bass. As you may be aware, most speakers can't accurately reproduce frequencies below a certain range. For this reason, F, G and A tend to be the preferred keys when it comes to bass-heavy music. For this track I've got here, I went for G minor. So to make a chord progression in G minor, you need to know the chords in the key of G minor. There are 7 basic chords, and this is where the circle of fifths come in handy. So make sure you have downloaded the cheat sheet and you'll find the circle of fifths there. So here it is, the cheat sheet and the circle of fifths. So the circle of fifths can be used for many purposes. One of them is to find the chords of any key. The outer circle represents major chords and keys, and the inner circle represents minor chords and keys. The trick here is that if you pick the chords adjacent to any chosen key in the circle of fifths, you will stay in key. For example, if we want to make a chord progression in the key of G minor, we start here, and the adjacent chords are C minor, D minor, F major, B flat major, which is the same as A sharp major, but in the model cycles it says A sharp major, E flat major, or D sharp major. In the model cycles it says D sharp major. So, in addition to these 6 chords, there's always a diminished chord, which is located in the outer circle opposite to G minor and 1 step counterclockwise in the circle. So here it's A diminished. So these 7 chords are the basic chords of the key of G minor. Now this pattern that you formed here, it repeats, and it also works with major keys. And now that you know this, you can find the chords of any key. Let's say you want to make a chord progression in the key of F major. Then these are the chords to pick from, including E diminished. But let's stick to G minor here. So the chords I chose for my chord progression here was G minor, D minor, A sharp major and F major. Then it repeats, but instead of playing A sharp major again, it goes G minor, D minor, C major, F major. Notice here that I'm using C major, which is not part of the 7 chords of the key of G minor. But as long as we don't go too far away in the circle of fifths, usually it does work. So the farther away you go from your original key, in this case G minor, the less likely it is that it will sound good. So C is not directly adjacent, but it's really close. Let's listen to it. You may have noticed that I'm using 7th chords here instead of regular triad chords. What this does is just adding another note on top of the basic triad, which gives the chord a different flavor. To add variation, you can change the inversion of the chords using the color knob. Let's change the inversion of this F major chord here to brighten up the sound and make it fit better with the other chords. Now that we got a chord progression, let's continue with the melody. Well, you might have recognized that one. Using the default settings of the model cycles, G minor is a great key to start with, because the trig keys of the model cycles give you an octave of notes that are in the scale of G minor. It starts here with our G as our root note. It goes up, passing A sharp, C, D, D sharp, F, and then we're back at our root note G once again. And below our first G note here, there is an F note, which allows us to turn around below the root note while jamming. Now, this sequence of notes was the G natural minor scale. When making melodies, it's common to use the pentatonic minor scale instead, simply because it sounds better. The difference between these two scales is that we just leave out the A note and the D sharp note. And then what's left is the pentatonic minor scale. And this is what I have marked here using these dots. Another thing I like to do is to add the blues note. This is the one right here. It gives a bluesy feel to your melody. I don't like to stay on it, but just pass through quickly like this. And this, the pentatonic minor scale, including the blues note here, constitutes the blues scale. And just to remind you, you don't have to take notes here, it's all in the cheat sheet I made for you. The link is in the description. The cheat sheet also contains the major scale and the major pentatonic scale, so make sure you grab it. Share it, or why not make a beautiful t-shirt? The Model Cycles is really a great device to start off with and to put down ideas into. What I usually do then is to transfer to my DAW and record each separate track and continue on the production there. Recently, I finished an entire track which uses several sounds of the Model Cycles. It's just been released on Spotify, Apple Music and other platforms, and you'll find a link to it down below. If you found this video tutorial and the cheat sheet useful, please show your gratitude by listening to my new track on Spotify. Please listen to the entire track and add it to a playlist. That would really help to spark the algorithm. And let me know in the comments below if you can hear which elements of my new track that are samples from the Model Cycles. I can give you this, there are 3 separate elements which are samples from the Model Cycles. Let me know in the comments down below which elements you can hear. Alright. Thank you very much for watching this video, and also a special thanks to those who supported me when I announced that I would make this video and this cheat sheet in the Facebook Model Cycles group. If you're not part of it, join it, it's a great group. Alright, I hope you liked this tutorial. If you want to see more content just like this, hit that subscribe button. This has been Rico. I'll see you in the next video. Done.